Brothers, I'm bringing horror movies again. Today, it's still the American Horror Story series. At the beginning of the story, a man is taking pictures in the wild with a camera, and his girlfriend is following him. Since Zhao Shuai is a crazy explorer, this time, he found an abandoned hospital online. It is said that many people died in this hospital. The reason was that a nurse, while treating a patient, mistakenly used the wrong medicine, which led to the deaths of dozens of patients. And in the following time, many strange things happened in this hospital, although it has been abandoned for many years. But every night, locals can hear some strange cries. The camera turns, as Zhao Shuai and his friend kept going deeper into the house. In addition to the murals everywhere, and the shadows of ghosts, they didn't see anything. In order not to return empty-handed from this adventure, Zhao Shui and his friend didn't leave in a hurry. They decided to go to the town to ask the local residents, to see if there are any other places for exploration nearby. While passing by a fruit shop, Zhao Mei accidentally overheard useful information, because the boss just told him there was a lake north of the town, and there was an ancient villa under the lake. Hearing this, Zhao Shui was immediately interested, so they drove there without stopping. The camera turns. Zhao Shui and his friends found the place, but there were too many tourists playing here. It didn't look like a place with ghosts. Just when Zhao Shuai was full of distress, a local resident stopped him. After a conversation, they learned that there was indeed a villa under the lake, but only he knew the exact location. If they could give him a tip, he was willing to take them there. Then the three quickly got into the car. Because the lake is very remote, it would take a long drive. To pass the time, the local told them the origin of the villa. About 50 years ago, this area, there was an unprecedented flood. Since the village was built in a basin, the entire building was submerged into a lake. It was the complex environment inside the lake, which has attracted many explorers over the years. Hearing this, Zhao Shui became more excited, and soon it was afternoon. They finally found the lake. After everything was ready, he and his fellow adventurer plunged into the lake. The old man who brought them waited on the shore. Soon he dived 10 meters underwater. A 100-meter-long staircase appeared in front of them. Obviously, they were not far from the villa. After several hours of diving, they finally reached the gate leading to the villa. But what was strange was that not only were the flagpoles filled with animal corpses, but also nearby small fish and shrimp were afraid to approach here. But Zhao Shuai didn't take it seriously. Then he and his girlfriend decisively climbed over the wall. But when they reached the intersection of the villa, an accident happened. Unexpectedly, the gate of the house was sealed by a big lock. As a last resort, Zhao Shui had to sneak in through the window, but just a 10-meter-long catfish suddenly emerged, which scared them to death. For safety, Zhao Shui first sent a drone to dive inside to explore the situation. After scanning around, they found no danger. They dared to walk in carefully. But when they just entered the room, the eerie atmosphere inside made Zhao Mei feel scared. What's even more unbelievable is that the house had been submerged by flood for 50 years. The furniture inside is well preserved, and there was not even a trace of decay. With these doubts, they began to explore the house carefully. But the next scene, which made them break out in a cold sweat. It turned out to be a humanoid puppet, but the workmanship of this puppet is really realistic. The water quality was particularly cloudy as soon as they entered, so the drone came in handy again. This time, Zhao Shuai specifically turned on the sonar detection function. But at this moment, a voice of a person suddenly echoed in Zhao Mei's ears. At first, Zhao Mei thought it was Zhao Shuai talking to himself, so she asked Zhao Shui. Zhao Shui said he didn't speak. At this time, the drone also detected something unusual. Under the sonar detection, a red dot appeared on the phone screen, and the red dot was approaching them rapidly. They were immediately frightened, but after a round of inspection, they didn't see any other creatures nearby. To calm Zhao Mei down, Zhao Shuai lied that it should be a fish, swam past while they weren't paying attention. Then, frightened, Zhao Mei could only follow her boyfriend closely, not daring to go far. But then, room after room was more and more eerie. They found a doll full of needles, and there were photos of children hanging everywhere on the walls. All signs indicate that the owner of the house must be a pervert. While Zhao Shuai was absorbed in shooting, a scary scene was suddenly captured by the camera. In the sheet in front of them, a figure suddenly appeared. This instantly made Zhao Shuai break out in a cold sweat. He quickly called his girlfriend to escape, but when they turned around, they found that the terrifying figure had disappeared again. The confused Zhao Shui couldn't believe it, but there was indeed nothing inside after opening it. Weird things happened one after another. Coincidentally, the drone also malfunctioned at this time, so Zhao Shuai decided to wait for the drone to restart. They would leave immediately. Then they walked down the stairs all the way. They planned to leave through the front door of the house, but when the door opened, the exit was blocked by a wall, and on the hard cement, there were deep and shallow claw marks everywhere. It seems that a long time ago, someone must have been trapped here, but Zhao Shuai didn't take it seriously. He told Zhao Mei not to be afraid. Although the door was blocked, they could still go back the same way and go out through the window they came in, so they listened to Zhao Shuai's nonsense. They continued to explore the house recklessly. Then, they saw a bound dummy. Why is there a statue of Jesus in the kitchen? Just as they were puzzled, Zhao Shui made a new discovery. Behind the sculpture, there was a hidden door leading to another place. This discovery made Zhao Shuai very happy, because it was likely to be an exit to the outside. But when they opened the door and walked in, they found it was a room for murder and dismemberment. There were not only various execution knives in front of them, but also various human organs on the shelves, and 2 corpses hanging in midair. After realizing the danger, Zhao Shui and his friends quickly ran away. They didn't want to stay here for a second, but unexpectedly, the window they came in was also sealed off by a cement wall. Seeing this, they immediately panicked. In the emergency moment, a ghost suddenly appeared behind them. This scared Zhao Mei to death, but when Zhao Shuai turned around to look, the terrifying ghost suddenly disappeared. Zhao Shui quickly took out a knife for self-defense and started to look for other escape exits in the room, but without exception, all exits were tightly blocked, and they couldn't get out. Just as they were about to give up, a drifting catfish gave Zhao Shuai hope. He thought that where the fish could enter, there must be an exit nearby. They followed the fish and swam over. They found that the fish had entered the cell they just left, although they were scared of the corpses inside. But in order to escape, they couldn't care less at this time. But the light underwater was very dim. The fish was lost in a short time. Zhao Mei thought the fish must have escaped through this window. Just as she turned around to tell her boyfriend, she didn't expect her boyfriend had disappeared. When she looked down, the 2 bodies they tied up also disappeared. Then an accident happened. Countless chains suddenly fell from the sky. The more she struggled, the tighter the chains became, seeing that Zhao Mei was sinking to the bottom and out of breath. Fortunately, Zhao Shuai suddenly appeared and saved her. Zhao Mei asked Zhao Shui where he had been. Zhao Shuai said he had been looking for the fish's trace. Then Zhao Mei said the corpse next to her was gone. But when Zhao Shuai pointed, the corpse suddenly appeared out of thin air. Zhao Mei couldn't believe her eyes. Thinking she was going crazy from the fright, Zhao Shui said it must be your eyes playing tricks on you, and there's no need to be suspicious. To encourage Zhao Mei, without hesitation, he took off the mask of the corpse. The man was stunned. After being soaked underwater for over 50 years, their faces were no different from those of the living. Just as they were surprised, the corpse suddenly opened its eyes. This scene almost scared them out of heart attacks. The 2 ran for their lives, but the resurrected corpse was chasing after them. Zhao Shui and his friend quickly closed the door, temporarily blocking the ghost. At this time, the chimney next to them caught Zhao Shuai's attention. He guessed that they could escape from here. Then Zhao Shuai and his friend untied all their equipment, tied the equipment to their waists, and directly drilled in. But not long after they walked, the chimney above them began to collapse. A large number of stones kept falling on them. In an instant, the 2 passed out on the spot. The scene changes. Zhao Mei luckily survived the accident. After finding out that Zhao Shui was missing, she immediately panicked. She tried to call for help, but the machine was damaged by the stones. Zhao Mei had to cut the rope connecting them. She went out to find Zhao Shui with courage, but Zhao Shui was not seriously injured at this time. He was trapped in a bedroom upstairs, unable to contact Zhao Mei. He was also very anxious. At this moment, Zhao Shui accidentally made a major discovery. The 2 corpses were the owners of the villa, and the local who brought them was actually the son of the couple. Zhao Shui immediately understood. He was tricked by the local guide. At this moment, the door of the bedroom was suddenly pushed open, and it was the corpse that had just been chasing them. Zhao Shui quickly hid under the bed. The ghost searched for a while but didn't find Zhao Shuai, so it limped out of the room. Just as Zhao Shuai breathed a sigh of relief, an accident suddenly happened. The ghost turned around and instantly killed Zhao Shuai. Meanwhile, Zhao Mei was still searching for Zhao Shui in the room. At this time, Zhao Mei saw the light in the living room flickering. Knowing that it was 30 meters underwater, the light couldn't be turned on at all. Before Zhao Mei could figure out what was going on, the corpse suddenly jumped out. Zhao Mei was so scared that she ran for her life. Perhaps it was God's blessing. Zhao Mei accidentally found the escape hole, and seeing the ghost chasing after her, Zhao Mei didn't care about her boyfriend's life, and quickly left the place herself. And the movie ends here.